Okay, guys. One of the students created a file and it didn't go in there, and I don't know why.
Yeah,
But one of the
now.
students, yeah.
Come now.
Guys, you have to pay attention to what we're doing. Okay, when I ask you to do something, please do it. Okay, no, not you. Yes.
And it was not you, Ismael.
Turn the camera on her.
Guys, the reason why, if you have a file open, sometimes it won't do what you want it to do. So when I ask you to get to the gray screen, it's get out of everything. Don't minimize it. Get out of everything, go to the main screen. Okay, unless I tell you to minimize it, don't just minimize it, okay? And it worked after that for some reason. I don't know why it did, why it doesn't. One student's dictionary still isn't going in there, so I don't know what it's doing. But for the rest of you that it did, the way that you go in there is right here on this little box. You're gonna check it. All right? And now you want to go to rename. So now it asks you, what do you want to rename it? So rename it whatever you want. Medical, oil and gas, dictionary. No, don't name it dictionary, because then it may do something with your other dictionary. So, I mean, name it whatever dictionary you're trying to create. So if it's a medical, if it's a automobile, okay? And that's how you do it.
How many do you have?
Bunch. But one of the students asked me, how many do I have? A bunch. Because like, every time you go in, and like I don't want it in my main, I put it into a job dictionary. Now it creates another dictionary. Okay? Which is good and bad. I mean, it's good. It's good. Because all you have to do is go into Control F, your file manager, and then delete them if you need to. But, I mean, you really don't need to. Okay? All right? Okay. So, what I did was, and I just did a job last week, 2 weeks ago, ish. A week ago Thursday. Yeah. So I had taken 2 days on this case, and it was a termination, okay, of parental rights. So after the thing, the judge ruled, and these guys freaked out, okay, and they're like, we need it, Dave. Okay. So one day, the first day was 283 pages. The next day was pretty quick. We just kind of came in, they did some oral argument before she ruled, so it was only about 54 pages. But all of my stuff was in there. So all of the stuff that I had done from day one, I had put into a job dictionary. Okay? Now I had read in day two, just to see how many pages it was, to let them know for billing purposes. Is all of this making sense? Mm-hmm. Okay. So I did day one, so all of my briefs that I had used for the day one, because they were talking about, some of the same things. So I already had the brief for the kid's name. The kid's name was Daisy. I wasn't stroking that out every time. So I did D-A-I-Z with the asterisk. So every time they said it, and it was spelled D-A-I-S-S-E-Y. Yeah, crazy. So, I mean, you do it once and you remember the thing. So I had all of these briefs in this thing. Well, they're still talking about the same kid the next day. So what I did was I finished the first day, got all of my briefs, everything was good. The attorney sat in the same place the next day, so everything was correct. So I had attorney 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 ready to go. They sat in the same place, so I used the same speaker identifications as I did the same day, so I didn't have to read it in again. So when I read in the dictionary, when I translated the job, you can add a dictionary. So when you go into how do you translate?
Alt-T.
Alt-T. So when you go into Alt-T, I already had the notes in there, and it could still be on real time. It doesn't really matter, okay? So you go in, select the day of the notes, like say it was this, go in here. Now I'm going to come into dictionaries. Well, it already adds my main, remember? Because it adds the main every time, okay? Now it gives you what the name of the job is. That's the name of the job. So there's no other dictionary in there, okay? But now I want to add a dictionary. So now it comes in there where I created a job dictionary under that, and this was it. So I select it, put it in there, tran the job, and everything comes out the way that I had according to my main dictionary and according to the job dictionary. Does that make sense? And that's it. That's all you have to do. Okay? Now in the same thing, if you go into Alt T, you see that it has real time. Okay? So if you're in real time and you're going to do a job that day, select real time, select dictionaries. Dave is my main. So it should have your name in there, does it?
No, it has tutorial for mine.
Oh,
Because you're in the tutorial. Because you were in the tutorial. That's why. So if you get out, get back in, now it's going to put you in your main. Okay? So it says tutorial because you're in the tutorial. All right? But you should be in the regular one. All right? So it's going to give you your main. Well, you know what? I want to add a dictionary. And you know what? We're coming back on that case. So I select that job, put it in there. Now it's going to translate according to my main and according to that job dictionary.
Do you just get rid of them after a while?
You can. I mean, you know, you can back them up. You can back up your files to an external hard drive, you know.
Dropbox.
So, I mean, if you ever do that case again, I mean, I guess you can, okay? But
So how many would you have in say, like Daisy's job dictionary? Maybe a dozen words or so, or?
a dozen?
Yeah, I can, because with just the names of the people and the names of the places, like briefs for that. Wow.
Yeah.
Oh,
There was
it
a
doesn't-
bunch.
you wrote it the same word different ways in case
Yeah.
I
So
see.
just in
Okay.
case.
Yeah, I got you.
So, I mean, you know, and you can do it a lot of different ways. And they were talking about this guy's name, Lamentier. I didn't even hear it the first time. And they said it so quick. I mean, it was the dad's name. So there's 100. So there's 95 entries just on that one day. Okay? So I mean, you know, 280 something pages, but you have 6 speakers, you have mom, dad, alleged dad, uncle, aunt, sister of the aunt. Who else was there? The 2 foster parents, CASA worker, CASA supervisor. So you have all these people. So I've created all of these entries, you know, because say she was the CASA worker and she read because of her shirt. That's the first thing that comes to mind when I look at her. Red. So now red is going to come up as person in red. So that's going to be in the dictionary, and it's going to be she was Miss Baker. So now it comes up red equals Miss Baker. Does that make sense?
Yep.
So you're going to have a lot of entries in there sometimes. Okay. All right.
That's mostly what it is, just like written number, right?
Yeah, or it could be, you know, like we were talking today about a car wreck today, and I mean it could be anything. And he was talking about, you know, the lady had C1 and C3 bulges in her disc. I mean, C3 could be, you know, they could be talking about a statute. And they'll have it under 262.301 C3, it says blah, blah, blah. And there really is stuff like that. There is. If you go into, you know, the family code, you can go in there and it's C, section C, and they have them by numbers. So it's like section, subsection, so it could be C3. But mine is going to come up C-3 because that's the way you do like something in your spine.
Cervical.
Yeah. So you don't necessarily want it in your main, okay? But you can read it. So if it's in your dictionary, you have C period and then 1, it's going to come up C1. Well, the reader, you know, if you're doing real-time form, they're going to know what you're talking about because it's going to come up C1 or C3. Now, I mean, it's not going to come up the way that it needs to be, which is C-1, C-3. It's not that big of a deal. If you have time to put the dash in there, that guy talking today, I didn't. So, you know, I'm just putting C1, C3, you know, and they're talking about orthopedic doctors. I mean, they said it so much. They said chiropractor, and chiropractic so many times. I had a brief for it. K-long-I-R, chir was chir. It was chir for chiropractor, and K-long-I-R-K, chirc for chiropractic. They said, I bet that cat said it 75 times, 80 times today. I bet they said it that many times. And I'm, you know, like an idiot, you know, I'm sitting there stroking it out the first few times. It's like, what am I doing? No. Mm-mm. So, I mean, and I just had a brief after that. And then they kept saying orthopedic. Try stroking that out most of the day. When your hand falls off, let me know how that went.
So is that mostly for trials that are longer than one day? Like, would you consider a job dictionary?
No. Because you want to global it in that job. So if you don't global it, then you're going to be putting it in there every time. And you're hitting the same thing every time. D-A-I-Z for Daisy. And you're going to do it every time? No. You want to global it because you did it, I don't know, 1,500, 1,600 times in that one day.
In that
all
job.
day. But I don't want it to go in my main. Because maybe tomorrow I'm going to take a job with Mr. Dazenhauser. I'm not stroking that out. And I put it in my main as days. Now it's going to come up Mr. Daisy. D-A-I-S-S-E-Y. Because you put it in your main. So you put it in a job dictionary and you global it so it globals throughout the whole job and you only have to do it once.
I have a question.
Imagine
So
that.
when you come across, I know, when you come
I'm
across
scared.
like a name that comes like chiropractor,
Yeah.
do you just write your brief in your head, and or is there a way that you can like tell your machine to put it in your job dictionary without having to like?
You can't tell your machine,
I'm-
but the first break you have,
Okay, so that's what I was gonna ask. When do you put it in?
Yeah.
You have a break, you run in there.
You just remember it
you just remember.
until
Yeah. And you
There's
know.
a way to mark it though, right? You can have like some kind of a mark symbol for.
Well, they used to have it on the machines where you could mark it, but I mean, you don't really now. So
Oh,
really,
yeah,
you know, what you can do is
That's what
find
it's
it.
for.
And how do you find stuff? How do you find stuff?
Oh, F.
Oh,
Duh. F. In hyperkeys, it's F. Find. So you can do it forward, backward, wherever. Find this. Okay. You know? So if you can't find it, then usually all you have to do is just kind of go up a little bit. If they said it like chiropractor or chiropractic as many times they did today, it's not going to be that
Scan.
hard to find it. Yeah. Yeah, it's not going to be that hard to find it. So, okay? So that's how you create a dictionary. Any other questions?
The transferring?
Huh?
The transferring?
Let's see if we can, I don't know if it's going to do it or not. But we can try.
You have to have both dictionaries open, like on your.
Okay. Let's see.
you have to have like both dictionaries open on your thing to transfer?
No, and I'll be honest with you, I've never done that. I've never transferred, stuff from my main to my other. I just put it in there. So
From one
I mean,
to another?
Huh?
Like if you accidentally put it in your main and you want to put it in your other one, like you put like 4 or 5 words in your main, but you meant to put them in your, instead of rewriting them, you could, you know what I mean, like cut and paste.
Yeah. So if you remember where they are,
And then just re-global them. Export.
well, that's what I just went into, but didn't open that.
Copy. I'll figure it out.
You know what? I think it showed us how to do that.
It did, but I.
We
you know
did
what,
the
I kinda
video and
tried
it
to
showed
go
us how
back
to do that. And
I'll go back and look at it.
yeah. But I've never done it, so I was getting ready to learn something with it.
Let's watch the video again.
All right, right.
It's not. See, we do. I guess we can.
Oh, yeah. But I'll but I'll get my passwords. Your what? My password. Oh.
So was there a sale at Old Navy?
Moving dictionary entries there.
Let's see how to move
So this time,
dictionary
pay attention.
entries. Suppose that my main dictionary contains old entries that are causing a problem with number conversion. I'd like to move the number entries from my main dictionary to another dictionary where I could examine which ones I wanted to keep and which ones I wanted to throw away. I could open a new dictionary, call it Numbers, and with both it and my main dictionary on screen, use cut and paste to painstakingly move entries from my main dictionary to the Numbers dictionary. But that's a lot of trouble. It would be much easier to find all my digit entries and move them as a group. To do something with this block of entries, I could go to the block menu or just open a context menu. I want to transfer these entries. They're now being moved. They're no longer in my main dictionary. They've been transferred to the Numbers dictionary. After I finished editing,
Did you get that?
Yeah, I did.
Can you do that again?
But why?
You open the
I don't
dictionary,
think-
your main dictionary, you cascade it from the windows, and then you block whichever ones you want. You go to the block menu, you select transfer or separate, and it goes into your other dictionary.
So along with the lines of like Excel or something like that, where you're just gonna
Yeah.
do, okay.
But then they're
but
not in
if
your
you
main
just wanna-
dictionary anymore.
What?
They're not in your main
So, like,
dictionary. Yeah.
What if
Yeah.
you want to just? Is there a way
What
to
if you wanted to
copy?
copy them? I guess.
If you want to copy and paste them, it just showed you how to do that.
So just
That's
copy
still- but
instead
there's-
of
You
just
still
moving the
cascade
whole
them.
thing.
You still
Yeah, you
cascade them,
copy-
but you open
under
something.
window, that's under the
Instead of
windows.
moving-
See,
So
just
you
copy.
end up doing just copy versus copy and paste? I mean, excuse me, cut and paste?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
kind of, but you have to I guess it separates.
Let's use some of yours as an example.
Turn that thing up. No.
Yeah.
Connect
So minor
your hair off.
profanity, it's like it's important. All his block files moved over.
And I combed my hair this morning. This is what happens when I walk outside. God forbid, I don't know what the hell.
Okay. So it's Control X. So you do Control X, and it copy. Did I take it out?
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Down.
Z, 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 Z,
Z. Oh, put it back.
All right.
What the crap?
His block files will be missing tomorrow. All his numbers will be missing.
Damn you kids.
Just remember which dictionary you put them in and throw it in your job lineup or whatever.
Okay. So actually what you could probably do, or not. I thought maybe you could click and drag it, but you can't.
Yeah, I tried that. That's why I asked you because it wasn't working, but I think I kind of get it. I don't know if I dare try it. Because I put a lot of medical ones in my main, I thought.
Medical.
Yeah.
Oh, that's why. My bad, guys. Control X is cut.
Did you just cut out a bunch of your stuff from that?
No, I cut out the Z. Pay attention. Pay attention.
Yeah.
If you pay attention and do it right, don't freak out.
Back it up before you mess with your dictionary.
No, okay, so let's do it right now. So right here, and we're gonna do Control C, copy it, right here, come down here, Control V, and then put it in there.
All right.
So you have to use the command. You can't just.
So Control C, so it's just like Word. You know,
Okay.
when you do the Control C, Control V, it's the same way. Cascade, y'all remember Cascade?
Yeah.
I mean, y'all wrote that down, right?
Under the
Yeah,
I-
sure.
I see what I was trying to do. I think what I didn't
Should this,
know
I don't know.
Huh?
Was,
was because I was trying to go off the menu off to the left of my program, and for whatever reason I couldn't get it to work. But
for those people who don't remember how to cascade, like it's my app. how do you do
Go over
that?
it again.
Yeah.
yes,
Attaboy.
just under the
Thank
All
you,
right,
Diego.
pay attention. Control X.
Don't write that down.
So go into dictionary. So you're gonna take it out of your main. Is what she's wanting to do, or he's wanting to do. Okay, so you're gonna take it out of your main and you wanna put it into another one. So open the main. It's gonna come open like this. It's gonna be big. All right? So then you come to Windows. Cascade. Cascade minimizes it. All right?
Where was Cascade?
And window.
Oh,
It's under
man.
Windows at the
Up top, window.
Windows.
Oh, okay.
Like what you want your view.
Right here.
Are
Look,
you ready to
Windows.
vote on this?
You see, Cascade's the second one.
Got it.
Okay? All right. So now you come in your other dictionary. Now I want to put it in Cantu. Okay? So now it's going to open it. Now it looks like it opened that one. It didn't. Don't freak out. Look. Right here, left click on it, drag it down a little bit. Now it brings it down. Okay? So when you go to the entry that you want, click on the entry. Control C. So you highlight it, Control C will copy it, and then come down here. Actually, you could probably get anywhere in here, and then just do Control V, and it'll automatically put it in there. It's not going to put it right there where it needs, where your cursor is. Okay, it's just going to put it where it needs to be. All right, that's how you do
Will
it.
it work with multiple?
Will it work what?
Control
I'm just
C.
gonna see if it will work
With multiple.
Yeah, it should. So let's
And
try
then
it.
Control V.
So if you come here, look, pay attention. So say you want these and you want all the way down to 18. So
Control
do
A.
shift, arrow down, marks all of them. Now you do Control C, copies them, go into Cantu, Control V, puts them all in there. The only thing that and I think the video showed us, and you'll have to go back and watch the video, we're not gonna watch it again, but how, like if you want 1, 2, 3, 9, 10, 12, 16, I'm sorry?
If you just like hold control and then click on?
Yeah, that'll work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can't you do like Control A and it gets?
Oh, my lovely assistant in the back.
Okay.
You need to start coming every week.
I know.
Wow. I know. I need to go teach a class. We're gonna start paying you.
Okay.
Very good. Yeah, so if you do control and hit, I mean, just tap on it, get on the one, tap on it, it marks it. Do the Control C, copies it, Control V, puts them in there. Got it?
All right. I was doing it the hard way by looking at.
Any other questions about dictionaries that we went over 4 weeks ago?
No.
Last week.
Was it really 4 weeks ago, or was it last week when the camera didn't work?
It could have been then too, I don't know.
Blame it on the overhead projector.
Yeah, we're gonna do that.
Yeah.
Any other questions? Moving right along at 8:30.
Oh, good gosh.
Can we go bye-bye already? It's been a long day. It's been a long, awful day. All right, let's done with him.
Okay, we're not going to spend a whole lot of time on this. I'm going to show you the videos. We're probably going to play right through it because we've already kind of seen it. It's just going over some stuff about marking whenever you global stuff. Okay, so pay attention. Put attention.
Let's see some of the choices that AutoMagic offers for dealing with untranslates and global replacements. In 2006, Eclipse introduced Global Magic. Just mark your notes and pick a choice off a list. It's that easy. You can still use the powerful and efficient globaling dialog, but it takes less steps to use AutoMagic. As soon as I put my cursor on the first part of the string that means arthroscopic, Eclipse prepared a 4-stroke steno global. That's what the 4 within parentheses means. And I didn't even have to mark text first, so that saved me several steps. It's choice 3 on the AutoMagic list, so I'll press 3. Now I can press 1 or 2 if I want this definition to go into my main or job dictionary. I would press 3 if I want to browse to another dictionary. Pressing 4 would apply this global to this document without creating a dictionary entry, what Eclipse users call a trash global. And if I press 5 or the escape key or simply move my cursor, then that will mean this was simply a local replacement. In other words, creating a global for this technical word took only 1 or 2 steps and involved no typing at all. Here's a 2-stroke on Translate that means garage. I don't have to start off by marking my notes. Just place my cursor on the first stroke and pick choice 3 from the AutoMagic list. And now press a number to finish making this global replacement. Again, that would take only 1 or 2 steps. I didn't have to mark notes, and I didn't have to type anything at all. Eclipse Translation Magic does a very good job of understanding things that are not even in your dictionary, but sometimes the guesses can be incorrect. If so, take a look at the top of the AutoMagic list. You'll find additional choices there, and the one you need will probably be right at the top of the list. These are just some of the ways in which AutoMagic helps you deal with untranslates and global replacements with the minimum number of steps.
Got it? Good.
So David, whenever you do that, whenever you use the AutoMagic, does it automatically put it in the dictionary or it doesn't?
It remembers
corrects
what
it.
you're doing.
It does remember.
So if you use the software, it's going to remember what you're doing.
Okay.
Even if, like I had wrote, something in person, I wrote it different, so it had 2 different entries, and it remembered. And I may have just selected the Global Magic, something simple as that. But instead of PERN for my person, I did like PERP, and I did the in person, because they were talking about in-person visits. So it's going to be hyphenate, in-person visits. So instead of doing the in person, I'm doing the IN person, and then globaled it that way. Because every time, and they say, well, if he was in person the next time that he went now it's going to put it. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Why I wrote it different?
Hyphenated.
Whatever,
Yeah.
wherever the word is in the sentence, it could be an adjective or it could be something else.
Yeah.
And so it'll recognize that.
Yeah.
So if you have a conflict, it will look at that and say, oh, it'll look at the context and
Yeah.
switch it.
So I wrote it different, even though it's still the same IN. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
All right.
It's beautiful.
Let's see how to quickly select steno strokes to perform global replacements. In the Edit section of User Settings, you'll see the option Global After Scan. If there's a check in that box, here's what it does. When I scan to the next untranslate, Eclipse will automatically highlight one stroke of steno for globaling. If I need additional strokes for globaling, I can simply press Ctrl-G as in global. Well, what if I scan to an untranslate, and the steno that I need to add does not come after, but before the untranslate? Here's where the arrows come in handy. You can target steno that comes before your starting point, or after it. Although you can use the mouse to point and click, keyboard commands are generally faster. Your keyboard's up-down arrows will add or subtract steno in front of your starting point, while Control-down or Control-up will add or subtract steno after your starting point. Of course, you do not have to use automatic global after scan. I prefer to use hyperkeys that make it possible to select multiple steno strokes with one button. So here, instead of having to press Ctrl-G 5 times, I can just use hyperkey 0 to catch the 5 strokes with one button.
I found sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. So with your machines, we're going to write. Okay? Write what I'm telling you to write. Okay, ready? I went to McDonald's yesterday.
YED.
Did anybody three-stroke yesterday?
No.
I was thinking.
You were about to.
I didn't have brief for me.
Hey, when in doubt,
We just
stroke
had
down
it.
and make it easy.
Yeah.
You really need
I
to
just
stroke
put McD.
McDonald's out.
Oh,
Do
we,
it.
Because
we
that's
had
what
it in
we're
one of our
wait.
things a couple weeks ago, so.
And so what?
So we already had a brief for it.
What'd y'all do?
Typed it over.
MKDZ, make it easy.
MIKDZ.
MKDZ? So
MIKDZ.
MKDZ?
MIKDZ. Mickey D.
MKDZ. Wow, that's kind of a hard stroke. No?
I don't do the I, but
Oh.
I just do Mickey D's. MKDZ.
Because MDZ is merchandise, so I added the M. Oh wait, no, I didn't have a K.
What is it?
I like that.
I do MIKDZ.
MKDZ.
Yeah. But that defeats his purpose of what he's trying to do.
Yeah.
And it doesn't really matter because it is what it is. So what I want you to do is get in the middle of that sentence somewhere. Okay, and now global it, which is what? Yeah, you can do G. And then with those little arrows up and down, if you click the up, it goes back. You see?
Oh, yeah. You see what it's doing?
And if you click the down, it goes right.
Right.
Okay? Now click the right one. So if you click the left, it's just going to take everything out. If you click the right, then it'll go right. Okay? So that's how you can add, subtract, from what you're globally. Okay? Got it?
Yep.
So mess with that a little bit, not today, but when you practice.
Mine didn't do it either. None. I'm just gonna watch the video again.
You can create an auto replacement while you're in the globaling dialog. Just type the letters for your shortcut with the equal sign, and then the text for your global as usual. Eclipse will offer to create your auto replacement, which you can then use anytime you need to type this text.
Guys, I showed this to y'all last week, remember?
Yep.
It's good,
Beautiful.
okay? So like even if I was doing,
Deoxyribonucleic acid.
that. Or, you know, like today, the guy was talking about River City Chiropractic. And I'm just, every time it's like, oh my God, you know, when I can just do riff, okay? Well, I mean, this is kind of different because the first time you stroked it correct, you can do it, okay? Now every time after that that you did riff, now if I did RF as River City Chiropractic, now all I have to do is RF and it automatically puts it in there. So the first time you do it correct, global it, and then you do the RF equals River City Chiropractic, it's going to do an auto replacement. It'll create an auto replacement. So now when you do RF, but it has to be something that doesn't conflict with something else. So it can't be READ. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it can't be something that's going to conflict with something else. It has to be something totally different. I'm sorry?
Because if you did READ twice, you get your block.
It could. If you have, yeah, it's going to be your readback block file. So be careful with what you're doing. Okay? But this is actually pretty neat. All right? Any questions? Good. Slick? Questions? All right, so we can try it and see if it works. So get on like the second word of that sentence that I just asked y'all to do. All right? And do Alt 9. Did it global?
Mm-hmm.
It should have done like 3 strokes. Did it?
Did 4. Yeah.
Alt 9?
Or 4?
Well,
Yeah, it does 4. Because 7 is 2, 8 is 3, 9 is 4, Alt 0, not O, Alt 0. Should be 5 strokes. So that's how you do it. So if you know something's 5 strokes and you don't want to control G, 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 then do Alt, number, Alt O. Got it?
Mm-hmm.
Did it work for everybody?
Yeah.
All right.
Here's what happens if you ask Eclipse to suggest additional dictionary entries, and you have a check in the box next to integral, prefixes, suffixes. Eclipse analyzes the steno that you're defining to see if you could just as easily have added additional keys to indicate a suffix or even a prefix. However, the suggested entries are not added unless you accept them. So you can't cancel without accepting any suggestions. Or you can pick specific entries to be added, or you can accept them all with one button. If you're a more advanced user, you can get this feature to better support your writing style. Just go to the programming section of user settings and edit the integral, prefix, and suffix steno definitions. Here's one quick example. Let's say that you write the suffix s whenever possible by adding a z to your steno stroke. I'll modify this line to say Eclipse has permission to suggest an additional entry for a word that ends with the suffix s, if it's possible to add final z to the steno that's being defined. Of course, that's only possible if the z is not already present. So I'll use the keys button, say a z cannot already be present, and then press the OK button. As you can see from this example, you can add a lot of lines to this part of your user settings in order to take maximum advantage of the globaling suggestions.
The next time I use it, so if you want to try it, you can. I don't really use it. It's not. So
You don't use that, David?
I really don't. No. Yeah. But if you like it, try it.
Let's take a closer look at the help that Eclipse can offer as you're adding entries to your dictionary. Here I've created a dictionary for today's job, and I'm about to add an entry for a speaker, Mr. Robertson. I'll ask Eclipse to offer suggestions. When I add my entry, I can now ask to see misstroke suggestions. These are based on the dragged and dropped keys that I've indicated in the Translate section of user settings. However, these entries will not be added unless I either select specific entries and press OK, or I use the Accept All button. If you don't want to accept any suggestions, just press the Cancel button. Here, let's see what happens if I use Accept All. In this example, that added 144 entries to this job dictionary. I probably wouldn't want to add that many entries at one time to my main dictionary. But for a job dictionary, having all the ways I might be able to misstroke a speaker identifier could be very helpful.
And if you can do Bob 144 different ways, just think how many times you can do court.
I have, and I have.
1,000, literally, by leaving one letter off each time. It's ridiculous. It is ridiculous. So this is actually pretty good, you know, because you're gonna do it. It's not that big of a deal, because even if you misstroke it, you did the Bob the first time, you globaled it. Next time you do Bob Bach, well, guess what? That global magic's gonna have it up there. Well, last time it was Mr. Robertson. Do you want that? Yes, I do. Number 2. And it starts remembering as you use the software, okay? So it'll start remembering after you use it a few times. Any questions about that? Good. Nice hat.
You'll find Unglobal in the Edit menu. Let's see what it does. In a dictionary, you can use unglobal to do the same thing as unmerge. So if I read in the contents of my Chemo dictionary, I can either right-click and select unmerge, or go to the edit menu and select unglobal to say take out the entries that I merged in from the Chemo dictionary. this small text file, I'll create 3 job globals so that you can see them clearly in the upper right-hand corner in the job dictionary. Edit, unglobal. This window shows me that Eclipse is tracking my globals. The most recent global is always at the top of the list. Okay, unglobal. The entry has been removed from the dictionary in which it was placed, and my text file looks as it did before I made the global. One more time. I'll pick David Smith Jones. Okay, unglobal. The entry is taken out of the dictionary, and my text is restored to pre-globaling condition. One last example, unglobal. At this point, my dictionary is empty, and my text is restored to pre-globaling condition. One final note. Rather than opening the unglobal list and choosing the global that you want to undo, it's often easier to simply re-global, but use whichever approach works well for you.
The next time, I have no idea why you would use that. 0. But if you want to, I just showed you how to do it. Any other questions about it globally? There's different ways that you can use your dictionaries and globally, okay? They give you like a trash dictionary the next time. I don't understand it. I really don't, okay? Put it in, if you stroked it one, I mean, I can understand if you just completely messed it up. But you're gonna use it once and that's gonna be it. It's going to global it once, and then that's going to be it. Okay? So put it in a job dictionary. If you did it once, you're probably going to do it again. Okay? Is my way of thinking, and that's the way that I do it. So I always usually put it in a job dictionary. If you want to, great. So you can put it in your main, you can put it in a job, or you can put it in a trash dictionary. Okay? Those are your 3 options.
When you
All
say
right.
trash dictionary, is it literally labeled trash?
T, yeah. So if you global something, so right here, you come here, there it is. So it's a trash global. So yeah, there really is.
Control T.
Yeah.
¿Cuándo dices que vas para this weekend?
Friday. I'll be there Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. You?
Sí, me voy también mañana.
Oh,
Y el domingo voy para allá.
progreso.
Sí, me voy, no sé por
I'll let you know. Maybe I'll make
Let's see how the Find Replace dialog works. There are several ways to open this dialog. You can click on a toolbar icon, or open the Move menu. or use speed key F5 or hyperkey F, as in find. You can search forward or backwards to find text, paragraph types, print commands, or steno.
So you were asking about, well, I mean, we went an hour, and you know, within the first 5 minutes, they were saying chiropractor or chiropractic 15 times, and I know it's like on page 8, and I'm on page 88 already. That's how you find it. So it doesn't have to be something that's in your dictionary. It doesn't have to be in English. It doesn't. Does that make sense?
You're
So
talking
you
about
can
just
find the steno.
finding the words to global, that's what you're saying? That's what you're talking about?
Yeah. So all you have to do is just one. Even if you did it chirc, you know, the K long I-R-K for chiropractic, all you have to do is once, and it'll go back and find, you know.
All of them and fix them?
But I mean, all you have to do, if you go back, you can find back. You know, see how it has reverse? They're even case sensitive. You know, if it's capitalized, you can find, you know, certain case, cursor mark, cursor left, cursor right, and you can find all kinds of things. You can find page breaks, the last byline, colloquy line, stuff like that. So I mean, it'll find almost whatever you want. So you have to be careful with what you put in there, and put the right thing in there, and it'll find it. Okay?
Or steno. By default, Eclipse looks for whole words, but you have other options. Perhaps the text you're looking for could be part of another word. It might appear in the middle, at the end, or at the beginning. If you're used to using wildcard indicators, these will be understood by the dialog. Here are a few additional tips. You can use the question mark to stand for an exact number of letters. So searching for B question mark T would find both bit and bat. Again, the question mark stands for an exact number of missing letters. You can also use the pound sign to search for any digits. If you're looking for numbers that have a specific number of digits, use as many pound signs as there are digits in the numbers that you're looking for.
It's pretty cool. You use it right. Pretty cool. Or just listen to it now and never use it again. Which I'm sure y'all will do. No, it's actually good, guys. I mean, that find, trust me, you're going to use it a lot. You'll use it a lot, and you should. You should. It's good.
Text-based globals are a powerful translation and editing tool. Let's see how they work. I've used different steno strokes for the same name. If I'd like to use a text global to correct it, I need to mark first, and then give the command to open the globaling dialog. I'll put a check in the box next to text and type in the replacement text. Let's also put a check in the box next to all. I want this global to apply to all the document, not just from cursor position forward. And by default, a text-based global is treated like a trash global. It's not placed in an ordinary dictionary. You see that wherever Smith had translated, it gets corrected. Text globals can continue to work in the background. So if I made this text global during real-time translation, anytime I write Smith, it will be corrected to Smythe until I turn off real-time translation.
So
Got
if
it?
you get out of it and go back in, it's not gonna be there anymore. You have to
It'll be
re-go.
Smith instead of Smythe?
It'll
Is
be
that what it's
Smythe
saying?
instead of Smith.
Oh.
So if you put Smith and you realize, you know, on page 88 of the real-time thing, it's like, oh, it's supposed to be Smythe.
Or like Sean or something like that.
Yeah.
That's sweet.
And it's SHAWN instead of SEAN. So you can go back and global back too. Okay? It's actually pretty good.
That actually kind of nice, like when we're taking tests and we already have a way to write Sean, but we're told it's still another way. You could just global it right before and it would just, you wouldn't have to think of like 5 different ways to write Sean.
Yeah.
You just do the same one over. That's sweet.
Because there's 3 ways to write it. AW, AU, and SEA. And Sean.
Or SHAEAUN.
What was it?
Sean.
SEAN, and then SHAUN.
Oh yeah. And then
SHAW.
SHAW. Yeah.
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 That's sweet.
Yeah.
Just save a lot.
So I'd write that down. Or not.
I'm legitimately coughing.
What if you wanted to get rid of a text global that you made during real-time translation? Where do you go? Open your dictionary and press the Browse button. Then look in the Eclipse folder and open the TranJob dictionary. Your text globals are typically at the end of your dictionary, and since there is no steno for these entries, the original translation appears in the steno column, surrounded by quotes. In the text column, you see how you have defined this translation as you created your text global, where you can delete any that you no longer need.
That's sweet.
Any questions? Excellent. Okay, we've done it before. So in your text right now, you can do Alt-N, and these are called print commands. So you can do a page break. Is it coming up? Is it coming up on yours?
Yeah.
It's not coming up on here.
Because you're in the thingamajiggy.
You gotta go to the other.
It should come up the other way. Yeah. But anyway, it brings up that box. But, you know, it brings up these commands. So you can do a page break, new page number, conditional page break. So the conditional page break, y'all remember what that is?
Yeah.
So say it's a byline, you don't want it on 25 with the question on the next page, that's a conditional page break. So if it's right in the middle and it's on 13 and it has examination, by, question, then it doesn't mess with it. It's only when it's at the end or at the beginning that the other one is at the end. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Okay.
Eclipse print commands include such things as page breaks and comment lines. For a nice clean screen, you can have these pop in and out of view, or if you prefer, remain visible at all times. Here I've highlighted several print commands, and you're seeing them because my cursor is actually on one of them. When I move my cursor, the print commands will hide themselves, and you'll once again see the text box. You have a choice. You can have the print commands visible at all times, or automatically hidden whenever your cursor is not resting on one of them. Use the toolbar icon, or the menus or speed key Alt-U to go to the display section of your user settings. If you want the print commands visible at all times, put a check in the box next to print commands. If you want the print commands automatically hidden whenever you're not on one of them, remove the check. Here are two display related.
I'll tell you right now, mine are hidden. Okay, so if you want to go in there and you're going to have to go into your block files and put that on. Okay?
So wait, if we use the block files, but we have it checked that we want to see them, and they won't show up?
I don't know. You may be able to go just to your gray screen. So get out of what you're in, go to your gray screen, pull up Alt-U, display, print commands. Now get into a real time and take down what I'm telling you to take down. Ready? So everybody check that, show.
Yeah.
Print commands?
Yeah. Everybody has that checked?
Print commands, right?
Yeah. Check it in your user settings. Got it?
Yep.
Okay. The court symbol question, state your name.
Mine says conditional page break 2.
You can see it? Does everybody, can everybody see their?
Mine doesn't say it.
Okay. Stay at the end of name. Do the court symbol again. Question symbol. State your name.
Yeah, there you go.
It wasn't doing that before.
Did you check yours?
She didn't get it.
Oh, Alt-U. It could have just gone off show off. Display. Is it
Mine was like that before.
Oh, wait, no.
Okay, let's try something else. Maybe it'll do it on here. Just get back. Did you do it in the Alt-U?
Yes.
You have it in the user settings?
Yes.
No.
That-
Have what?
Does she or not?
Yours was checked.
Yeah.
Check.
Yes, it
We
was
saw
checked.
it.
It's checked?
Yes.
All right, get on your machine. Pay attention. Dram. Court symbol. Question symbol. State your name. Did it come up?
Yes.
That's what it's talking about. So now every time you're going to see that. Now when you print it, it's not going to show it. Okay?
Oh, okay.
But when you're editing, it's going to show it. because it's only a print command. I don't like it because it's something else to see on there and it messes me up. Okay, I don't. So if you don't like it, go into Alt U, display, uncheck it. Pay attention real quick. That's why you have to print your transcript to proofread it. Okay? Because you don't see the print commands. Okay? They don't come up in my settings. I don't have it checked. Now, if you want it checked and you want to see it, then great. Okay? But you're going to be able to see it. Okay, at the end of the name, I want you to do Alt-N.
With the print commands unchecked or still checked?
Just leave it the way it is.
Okay.
Alt-N. Page break should be highlighted. Is it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Press enter. And then type this. Dram dram. Chord symbol. Question symbol. State your name. Okay. Okay, do me a favor. Go back into Alt U and check the conditional page break, the page breaks, or the print commands.
Check it or uncheck it?
Check it.
I have mine checked.
Under
Whenever I
display?
did that, your
Okay.
last. Yeah.
Okay, I want everybody to check it.
Yeah, we just checked.
Everybody checked it?
Yes, sir.
All right. So arrow down to the bottom. Get at the end of that sentence again. Got it? I want you to do Alt-N. Should be on page break. Press enter. Now I want you to do dram dram. Chord symbol. Question symbol. State your name.
So when you when the page break comes in, because you told us to go to the end of the last word, should it go before that question?
No, because you were at the end. You were at the end, so that's a conditional. That's your page break. So now this is a conditional. I don't know what you did.
I did exactly what you told me to do.
You
At
weren't
the
listening,
end,
that's what it was.
at the end, Alt-N,
Yeah.
okay. Takes it
That's a
back.
page break. Now dram dram.
Chord, question,
State your name. Yeah, because those are conditionals. They're conditional page breaks. Your
So it
page
should
break
go
is there.
before.
No, it's right. It's right. It's right.
I was
because
at the
that's-
end of this one,
Yeah, so there's a page break. So it's gonna page
so
break
it's
it.
before. Before the name, not after.
It should have been after the name.
I've done it 3 or 4 times and it's doing the same thing
Can
each
you handle
time.
the last one again?
See? Back. Yours too? Say something, he's yelling at me.
Tonta.
I'm glad I'm not the one today.
I know. I'm talking about Sorority though. Oh.
No. The camera's gonna hear.
So what is yours doing that you're saying it shouldn't be doing?
What it may be doing is because you're on the line, it's thinking that you want to page break that. So what you may have to do is shift
Space.
F5 or do a space. Yeah, because you're still on the name. Try the space. Now do Alt N. It's still doing it? It's still doing it? Okay. So now do Shift F5. Alt N. Yeah. So I guess what you have to do is you can't be on the same line as that sentence. Okay? If you're on the same line as the sentence, I guess what it's saying is it's going to do it from there. So if you want a page break after that, then you have to put in like a fixed line or a paragraph line, which is Shift F5 for me. Or what is it, Control P? Huh? Yeah. You're just saying. What is it? Is it? I think it is Control P. Is it?
I just did it.
It's Control P? All right. So Control P, is it going to open up the box and it tells you, ask you what kind of, or is it, no, it just gives you a paragraph line. Does it come up as a fixed line or it comes up as a P line?
P.
As a fixed line? Huh?
It's in a queue.
Where you do it.
I got a queue.
And a queue.
What the hell?
Okay. For me, it's just easier. Do Shift F5. So it puts it as a fixed line usually automatically. Okay? That to me is easier.
So
Okay.
why was the other one giving us that? Because it was giving us a queue and then it was
Wait,
at the middle of the
Because
page.
if you do, because I think it changes the paragraph.
Okay.
Shift F5 turns it to a fixed paragraph.
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
You're trying to-
So to me, it's easier on the fixed paragraph because now you can indent and all that stuff. You don't have to, it allows you to do that. I don't know if on the P, because I think P is for parenthetical. It's not for paragraph. I think it's parenthetical. Huh?
Does
Yeah,
it
Q is
toggle?
for Q, question. Yeah, weird. Huh? Yeah. Okay, so you see how when you have that thing checked in the Alt U, see how you can see the conditional page breaks, the page breaks, all of that stuff?
Yep.
Okay, now turn it off. So go into Alt U, display, uncheck the print commands. Okay? Now arrow all the way down. Is everybody on a new line or
Yeah.
are you at the end of the sentence or a new line?
Line.
Everybody's on a new line?
Yeah.
Is anybody at the end of the sentence?
No.
No? Okay. Now do Alt N. Page break. Enter. It's still showing it? No, it's showing the other one. It should be showing the other one. Okay. It's showing the page break because you're on it.
Right.
Okay? So if you arrow right, it disappears. Okay? But if you arrow left,
It takes it back.
Comes back.
so that's how you see it. Okay? So sometimes you might be editing and you don't even notice it. Well, you don't notice. Okay, go to the end of it, arrow right, all the way down to the end. Arrow down, all the way. You should have your
Down.
page right there. Yeah. Okay. So you're still there.
You're showing us how page breaks come on and off.
Yeah, I'm trying to think if it's going to do it or not. I don't think it's going to do it. Because it'll have to be at the end of the.
Do we need to write something before to do it?
Yeah, do it again. So dram. Chord symbol, question symbol, state your name. Period. Period. It takes that long?
It takes that long.
Wow.
That's what
Yeah. All right. That's awesome. Okay, now do Alt N again. Page break. Enter.
Oh. You see all the.
Now go up. So see how it page breaks it, but you don't really see it? And you're only going to see it when you print it. Okay? So you're going to have that break in there, and it may only be like 2 lines. It may be line 2, 3, and then all of a sudden, it's on 1, 2 again. And there's 25 lines on that next page. Does everyone know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
So you may not see the page break on there. So that's why you have to print your stuff to proofread it. Okay? Don't just go by the computer and you're proofreading on the computer, because we're going to start doing it, guys. Once we get to speakers, we're going to start doing it. You know, where we're doing all of this stuff and it's coming all in, and then you go to print it and all of a sudden you have 9 pages of stuff when you should only have about 4 or 5, because there's so many page breaks in there and you didn't take the page breaks out. But it looks good on the screen. You proofed it on the screen. Everything's there. You print it. All of a sudden now it's 6 pages. It's supposed to be 3. Okay? And you'll understand what I'm talking about once we really start doing it. Yeah, and actually, I mean, I've already taught you how to do it, but I'm going to show you again. Okay? So get on a line. So get on a line where you know that there's a page break, but you can't see it, and then arrow left, where you can get on the page break, and you see the page break. You're on that line. Is everyone there?
Yes.
Is anyone not? Is anyone not? Everyone's there?
Yep.
Yeah.
How do you yank a line?
Control Y.
Control Y. So Control Y. And it takes it out. It'll take that page break out. So now it puts everything back together again. And that's how you do it. So it's like, well, it's going from it's going from line 13 to line 1. There's a page break. So get on line 13, arrow right. It's going to take you to the end, and then you're going to get on the page break line. You'll be on the page break line. How do you yank it? Control Y.
Dictate speed keys worth remembering. Shift Control F10 quickly switches from showing your print commands at all times to hiding them automatically. Whereas Shift Control F12 just puts a number of display options at your fingertips.
So try it. Try Shift Control F10.
12.
10. Does anything happen?
It just blinks.
It just blinks.
That's what F12 does. Oh. You could also do what you see with what you get preview. That one should take off. Ooh.
Right.
Ask
For
thing.
No, I did the Wissy wig. I think that's better. What you see is what you get.
Oh, yeah, all pretty.
Here's an A.
Okay. There you go, sir.
It's always up in a button.
Would you ever donate it?
So I'm getting dreadlocks. So
Is that why you're growing it?
I used to shave my hair.
You used to shave it?
For
So
years.
you're trying to show the print, it's on the
No,
print.
no, but that was.
So by doing that, Control Shift F10 puts a conditional page break in there, I guess.
That puts the content menu in there.
We put a
Wait, no, that's Shift F10, sorry.
Control Shift F10.
View hide print images. That doesn't show up.
Is there supposed to just be something that pops up there?
Yeah, the conditional page break.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't really use it.
Oh,
The
I
Alt N
see.
does the same thing, so if you want to put a page break in there, you do the Alt N. Okay?
Supposed to have that display from the Alt.
What you're doing with the dress, you have to shave.
So really what I think it's supposed to do is show and hide the print command. So instead of going into the Alt U, display, blah, 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 that's what it's supposed to do. So I guess if you get, on the page break or whatever, or the conditional page break, and do Control Shift F10. No, you got it off. Yeah, but it took it off anyway.
No, mine just flashes.
Yeah.
It just
Mine
flashes.
Mine just flashes and then it goes away.
You're on the page break?
Where's she at?
You all right? Tarzan showed up. Does it do it?
Hers doesn't, mine doesn't.
Yours did it?
Zeta work.
Well, hers did it too.
Yeah, but
My
my
key
Zeta works, but I
doesn't
can't get
work.
this one work, so.
And her Control Shift S
Oh my
for
God, yeah.
spell check doesn't work
Control
either.
Shift F10.
Eclipse print commands include such things as page breaks and comment lines. For a nice
Again.
Actually, use that already today.
Let's see how page breaks and conditional page breaks work. If all you want to do is force a page break at this spot so that examination will begin at the next page, then you can press Speed key Alt-N to open the Print Commands dialog. Page break is the first choice, so if you press the Enter key, that's okay. But there's also a small print command icon on the Edit toolbar. And print commands are also an item on the Edit menu. Another great option is to use conditional page breaks if you want text like examination to always be on the same page as the line that follows. So here, if I set a conditional page break to keep these two lines together, then Eclipse will automatically force a new page to begin with the word examination.
Dumb question, but y'all know the difference between a page break and a conditional page break, right?
Yes.
Does anyone not? Okay. The page break is going to put it on another page automatically. It's going to be on another page. I don't care if you're on line 2. It's going to put it on page 3. No, line 2. Say you're on page 2, line 2. Well, if you're on line 2 and you push page break, it's going to put you on page 3. If you put a conditional page break and it's only 2 lines and you're just on line 2, then it's going to keep you on that page. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Does anyone not understand that? You don't?
No.
It's okay if you don't,
No, I do.
because you need to know the difference. Now, if it's on 25 and you have a conditional page break of 2 lines, now it's going to put it on the next page. Okay? But if it's in the middle, it doesn't need to. It's conditional. It's saying these two lines, so it's almost like that little tilde of your honor, okay? Where it knows it's not gonna put your and honor, it's always gonna keep it together. That's like a conditional page break. It's saying these two lines need to always go together. And if they're not, it's gonna jump it down. So if one's on 25 and the other's on 1, it's not gonna do it. With the conditional page break, it's automatically gonna put it on the next page, leaving a blank line on 25. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Everyone has it? You know now? Everyone, does anyone not? That's the difference. Okay?
So when you're creating your block files, think about using conditional page breaks.
Okay. So one example is like right here. It's never going to have examination and question on different lines. Okay? So if this was line 25, this is not going to be on line 1. With that conditional page break right here on examination, it's always going to keep these together. Okay? Mine has 3. I don't do it like that. Mine doesn't come out like that. So your block files are not going to be like that. They're not like that. They're not that they're not going to be like that. They're not like that. So the person you go to work for, if they set it up like that, then you're going to have to go in and change your block files. Okay? It's not that big of a deal. But you'll have to go in and change it. I don't do it like that. Mine is examination by Mr. Smith, question down here. So it's 3 lines. So my conditional page break is 3, not 2. That's why you need 2, because these 2 need to always stay together. Mine is 3. So you're not going to have, bless you, on 24 examination, 25 by Mr. Smith, and on line 1 question. It's not going to be like that. Okay? It's always going to stay together. Got it?
Yep.
Any questions? Am I losing you?
Nope. Well, kind of. It's after 8.
I don't know. Most of y'all turn into.
Guess I won't go to the store.
Which store do you shop at? HEB's open 24.
Is it?
No, it's
HEB?
Huh?
No, I'm not going to.
Walmart.
Not in the south side, it's not.
Yeah.
At what?
It's up close at
This store closes at 9. Thank you very much.
the mall.
Where were you going?
To the mall.
Oh, yeah, you're not going to the mall.
Do you have a mall on the south side?
I don't live in the south side.
Certain links to
They have a
graphics,
mall in the west side.
such as a logo or a scanned version of your signature. Let's see. I'll give you an open Eclipse text file in my block files folder that I use for the certificate pages in federal transcripts. I've moved my cursor toward the bottom of the file where my signature would normally be placed. And now I'll open the edit menu to insert a new print command. And I'll select graphic. Okay. I'll now browse to find the file in my jobs folder. That was produced when I scanned a paper copy of my signature. I'll open the file and now use the controls on this dialog to position the image. It needs to move away from the left and up a bit towards the top, and maybe I want to make it just a bit bigger. Okay.
Where did
Now,
they get
if I
that?
actually show you the print commands, Eclipse has actually inserted a link to a separate file with the positioning information. This is merely an electronic image of my signature that would appear if I printed out a hard copy or created a PDF file, but it's not the same as a digitally signed file. If I were to go to Production, Output to PDF, Eclipse offers to let you digitally sign a PDF file, but that is described in a separate visualizer. Okay, let's create the PDF file. Since I made this change in my block file, I could add these pages to the end of a transcript. 2 final notes. A PDF file can include graphics, but an ASCII file is only text, not graphics. Also, if you are copying an Eclipse text file to another computer and it includes a graphic link, remember to also copy graphic file to which the link refers.
You don't do that?
No. So, really the way that technology has become, we don't send a hard copy anywhere. I mean, if somebody calls me for a transcript, it gets emailed to them. So they get it's a electronic signature. So really what it is, it just has these 2 side lines with an S on it, and your name's underneath it, David R. Zarate. That's it.
Keep them from copywriting, like making copies of it and distributing it illegally.
I mean, really, you can't. I don't think you can. I mean, I don't know.
You can't lock it like you
You
would
could put,
like
I
it.
guess you could put a draft symbol on it or something
But
if they haven't paid for it.
the transcripts aren't paid. Are they?
What do you mean?
Like, anybody can see them or no?
Well, anybody,
I mean, they're not files, but anybody.
yeah, it's just a file. So unfortunately, you can. I mean, I can send it to her. You know, she was the one who bought the copy, and let's say they're, in a.
Collaborating or something. Oh my goodness.
Your dream came true.
Sorry,
Are we awake?
you're awake now. Be ready.
We were talking about that right
was
earlier
broken?
today.
It was broken?
No, she was like, man, if that thing hits me.
Well, it almost did. So pay attention. You're awake now.
You're like, I was like, oh, shit.
I don't even know what I was saying.
You were talking
That
about.
you're gonna go home.
So say they're on the same side. They're on the same side. These 2 attorneys are on the same side, or vice versa, whatever. And she orders a copy. Well, I don't want a copy. I could still email it to her. She prints a copy and gives it to her. And it could have happened. So. And that's your work product. And I just did it. I just did it last week where one of the attorneys didn't want it. Now I made money on the rest of it because I sold an original in 1 and 3 copies or 4 copies, but it should have been 5 copies and the other one didn't want it. I was pretty sure she's gonna need it. So I told the other attorneys, don't let me find out that you gave her a copy. It's probably about $500, $600 just on a copy.
So there's not a way that you can, like with a photograph, put the imprint in the back, and so like when you go to court, show them one that has an imprint in the back.
We used to do it where you bought this special printing paper and they couldn't copy. Now you don't. I mean, you just send the file and everything's done on an email. So I mean, they could, but
So basically, you just kind of go off of the ethics and
Yeah.
hopefully they
Do
don't
you-
breach it.
Before you send it out, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but before you send it out, do you collect payment?
oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'll tell you, I mean, once we go off, I'll kind of tell you about it or whatever. But yeah, I mean, we do. Unless, you sit in my old court where they're court appointed and you're only going to make what you make. The county's going to pay you. You're going to get paid, but, it's, you submit your bill, you get paid. But these weren't. These were retained attorneys. 2 retained attorneys, and then there was like 3 or 4 court appointed. So I still made the money, but I could have made more money. So I don't know if she got the copy or not, but hopefully not. But, you know, it
What
is,
happens
even if
if
she
you
did,
found
it is
out?
what it is,
What
huh?
happens if you find out that they did that?
Copyright infringement.
When we go off, I'll tell you. But, you know, it kind of is what it is. I mean, there's nothing really I can do. So, any other questions about that?
No.
So I've never used this. This must be new because out of all the times that I've taught this class, I've never seen this video. So this must be a new on version 8. So,
But if you were to do this, set it up with your signature like that, the whole thing, this is a one-time thing you have to set up, and then you just
Yeah, you scan in your
Yeah.
signature
Scan it in.
and
That's
just
it.
save it as a file.
but it's still not going to keep them from doing anything. You still email the file.
Oh, no, I'm just saying.
Everybody's
like-
getting the same one. It has your signature on it. It doesn't excuse me. It doesn't matter. All they're going to have to do is print it and give it to somebody else. So it's not going to matter. So, any questions?
No.
Right.
Break time.
Yeah. So any questions about anything that we've covered?
No.
Guys, we've covered a lot of stuff. A lot. And it's going to start getting more intense. What I do want to tell y'all is we have class next Monday. We're going to have Eclipse class next Monday. So I know that some of you have literary or whatever on Monday. So I'm going to talk to Mr. Hopkins hopefully tomorrow and get it to where he's just going to put the test online. You take the test online. But we are going to have Eclipse class on Monday, and it's going to be in McCreeless Hall, 113.
Where?
Write it down. McCreeless Hall. So it's off of Dewey. Off
Can
of
you put
Dewey
that
Street.
stick away, please?
Are you having it on Monday because we're not gonna be here on Thursday?
I'm not going to be here on Thursday.
113, you said?
It's McCreeless Hall, 113. Okay?
So
And the next week is
Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving week. We're also going to have class in 113. That's going to be the only class we have.
On Wednesday.
Wednesday.
No,
Can you spell that?
Monday.
On Monday.
MCCREELESS. McCreeless.
One E.
McCreeless Hall. Huh?
One E.
Fulton, anything?
CRELESS.
Mac
Is it
Hall.
1E?
I think it's 1E.
Okay. It may be 1E. CRELESS.
Not worry about it, it's okay.
Okay, pay attention. I'm going to tell you again. We're going to be here tomorrow, probably in this class again, because I think the projector, whether they fix it tomorrow or not, we're having class. Okay? Next Monday, we're going to have class in McCreeless.